We just heard that winter doesn't end until March. That's absolutely outrageous. The trees are bare, the ground's frozen over, and it's the same deal when it comes to new games. Nothing much grows until the spring. Luckily, you've got us to count on. We've been scrabbling at the hard earth with our frostbitten fingers, teasing out the tasty gaming morsels that can sustain you until things warm up again. So cover your cold ears with the cushy memory foam of the Astro A50X wireless lightspeed gaming headset, and let us talk you through January's most exciting releases. It's time to start thinking about your New Year's revolution. Portal Revolution, that is. Since Valve has left its puzzle series without a sequel for 12 years, modders have filled the gap. This 8-hour campaign slots between the stories of the two Portal games, setting you loose in the decaying Aperture facility with a personality sphere named Sterling. Yep, this is a fully voiced project following in the dark comedy tradition of the series so far. Even more encouragingly, Portal Revolution has its own official Steam page. That's as close to official endorsement as Valve ever gets.
Yeah, that's our job now. Isn't it exciting?
Over to the fittingly frigid climes of Edmonton now, where more than 20 Canadians have been beavering away on a steampunk RPG. Sovereign Syndicate follows in the footsteps of Disco Elysium, leaning into dense dialogue choices and boozy protagonists. It just so happens that this alcoholic is also a Minotaur, who wakes up after a bender on a grotty London street right outside the werewolf containment zone. Perhaps you'd rather not play a Minotaur and would prefer to be a piratical witch or a robot servant. If so, Sovereign Syndicate is happy to oblige, because it's just that sort of a game. Next up we have The Lost Crown, which will be the latest addition to the Prince of Persia series, with Ubisoft stating that it could be called a prequel to The Sands of Time. In one sense it's a throwback, returning the series to side-scrolling platform after decades in 3D. Expect spiky walls, swinging saw blades, and ledges that crumble like feta cheese. But Ubisoft has also learned from the many great Metroidvanias released in recent years. They've tied your upgrade curve to the exploration of a mountainous map pockmarked with dungeons. The publisher is also calling on the expertise of its Montpellier studio. That's the same team responsible for the beautiful buoyant Rayman games, so you know the jumping's good. Later in the month, Graven will be crawling out of its crypt. This first-person puzzler has been a staple of Steam Early Access for more than 2 years and is finally ready for launch. There's a 90s FPS flavour here thanks to a medieval art style that recalls Hexen and character designs from Chuck Jones, who feature in the recent Half-Life documentary. Yet developer Slipgate Ironworks sets a steadier pace than its inspirations. You'll have to rely on directions from the local swamp dwellers to find your way around its open world, and take the time to figure out the quirks and possibilities of your spellbook. If you get stuck, you can always kick a zombie in the face or knock an NPC off his chair. It's healthy to channel your frustrations. The lead developers behind the Yakuza series left Sega last year to form a new company which is currently working on a mystery game. But Sega's remaining staff have ploughed on regardless. The Yakuza series, or Like a Dragon as it's now known, only seems to gather pace as time goes on. Infinite Wealth comes just a few months after the most recent entry. It seeks to shake things up with a new location, Hawaii. It's the first time the series has stepped overseas. Considering just how much of Yakuza's appeal is tied to its recreation of Japanese life, that's a big deal. Infinite Wealth appears to be something of a fish-out-of-water comedy, with protagonist Ichiban Kasuga waking up naked at the beach. It's a recreation of every Yakuza's reoccurring nightmare. In the Yakuza spirit of punching people, let's go full beat 'em up for the final entry. That's right, it's Tekken time. Bandai Namco has doubled down on aggression for its new battle system, which is backed up by destructible stages. When something behind or beneath your opponent breaks, then you know your fists are doing the business. Have you heard that Tekken holds the record for the longest running video game storyline? That's really a testament to the ability of its characters to hold a grudge. Seriously, Jin Kazama has been trying to end the evil Mishima bloodline since Limp Bizkit were at number 1. It's an endless feud that never seems to help Jin reach inner peace. But so long as that fire fuels the Tekken series, fighting game fans aren't complaining. Speaking of fire, we're going to throw a couple of logs on the burner and warm up our frosted fingers. If there's a better way to dig up games than with your bare hands, we haven't found it yet. Still, that won't stop us. Subscribe to the Logitech G, hit that notification bell, and you'll hear plenty more game recommendations from us in the future.